How to create enough product and order materials for a 10-day show when you're used to 1 to 2 day shows. Ordering, planning production, extremely important. If you don't have enough products, you're not gonna make money. If you don't order properly, you're gonna be really mad at yourself like 2 weeks before your show when you can't get the materials that you need, whether your materials are glass containers for your packaging, actual materials that your product is made of. For example, if you make candles or if you make teas like I do, you don't want to go to your workshop and you don't have enough peppermint because you didn't really know how much to order. So I'm going to lay it out for you in really 2 major categories. I'm Glam Gardener. I told you guys I'm going to take you behind the scenes of what it's like to plan for a 10-day show. We are doing the Philadelphia Flower Show in 2025. I'm super stoked, but this is very new for me. So I'm sharing little tidbits of behind the scenes for how to prepare for your first real big show. 1, getting your recipe down pat, and 2, how to scale that recipe either by doing the math manually or using ChatGPT. First off, if you make a product with a recipe, whether it be a candle, cake, a cupcake, a tea, write down that recipe in weight. By weight, I mean get a kitchen scale and weigh each ingredient that goes into it. Now, when you're scaling recipes to create 1,000 of it, you really need to scale it by weight. When you have your recipe's weight, that will look something like this. 200 grams of peppermint, 200 grams of chamomile, 200 grams of lavender, as opposed to 1 cup of peppermint, 1 cup of chamomile, 1 cup of lavender. What you're gonna wanna do is figure out how much you wanna sell at a 10-day show. You're gonna figure that out 2 ways. First off, you paid a certain amount to be at that show. I don't know if I'm allowed to say how much I paid for the show, but it was a lot. I need to sell hundreds of products in order to even break even. Break even means how much do you need to sell to literally break even, make no profit. You should figure out that number first with every single show. Now, depending on what you want to make at that show, maybe you want to double that or triple that so that you're bringing a profit home. Of course, you want to pay yourself for your hard work and labor. Another way you're going to figure out how much product to make for a show is if you've been doing this for a while, you generally have an idea of how much you'll sell at a good event. For me personally, I bring 6 of each product for a good event. So for a show like this, I'm planning to sell 10 to 20 of each product to the show. At best, we sell 20 of each product. If we sell less than 10 of each product, that's fine. Now, when you're making something that isn't a shelf-stable product, that gets a little problematic. So you might want to talk to other bakers or other people that are like food producers where something is very perishable because you don't want to overproduce. But in my case, it's okay to overproduce a little bit, as long as you have the storage to store that material before the show and after the show. Let's say I wanted to bring, just to make it simple, 1,000 products to this show, 1,000 products. I'm going to take my recipe from before, 600 grams total. Let's say this batch will give me 5 teas. I'm going to put in ChatGPT, be nice to it just in case they wake up one day, okay? Say, hello, ChatGPT. This is my recipe for my tea. It will make 5 teas. How much of each plant do I need to make 1,000 teas? And it's gonna tell you. Here's the math on that. That's how you're gonna start to figure out how to produce for a big show. You can do this before you apply to the show to figure out, okay, can I financially, feasibly do this? You also want to consider storing the product. You also want to consider ordering enough packaging. This is why for a big show like this, you really do need to plan like 6 months in advance. Just to review what we talked about, first off, you want to get your recipes down pat for all of your products. That is necessary for scaling it. Second off, you want to set a goal for how many of each product you would like to sell at that event using both the break-even point, and you want to go ahead and use your experience or your best practices to determine how much of each product is likely to sell so you're not bringing too little and you're not bringing too much. Third, you're going to do the manual math if you really want to challenge your brain cells, or you're going to use ChatGPT to figure out how to scale your recipes up to create that amount of product. And that is really how you're going to start to plan for a 10-day show in regard to how much you order and how much you produce. If this was useful, please let me know, and also let me know if you have questions. Thank you.